pals, it's Sassy Kassie, and today we're going to talk about my road to Patreon. Before I get into it, I would like to thank all of my subscribers and anyone who decided to click on this video. Thank you so much for watching and following my nut shinobi journey, maybe. I would also like to note, if you're still watching at this point, that I will be answering some questions at the end of this video. I know some of you probably skipped to that, but I really hope you stay tuned until then. So the Patreon. Now I had all these ideas, mostly bonus content related. You know, I looked at a lot of different YouTube videos and articles about what kind of things you should do as far as rewards and perks and things like that. And I went through and I made a whole list of the tiers that I would want and the things that each tier would get. And then I actually did create the Patreon. I set up the tiers and then I was like, okay, let's test some things. So I wanted to start with the bonus videos because I think one of the more common things that people do for Patreon when they do reaction videos is full reactions. And that wouldn't be too much more difficult to do than I already do because, you know, it's just the video before I go through and cut it and edit it. But the thing that I didn't know and didn't see in some of the videos really was the upfront cost that it costs to post those videos. And it's not even that you have to have like a regular account, you have to have like a premium account. And it just costs a lot of money that I personally was not prepared to set forth at this time. And I explored the different options that they give you outside of Vimeo, and all of them had a monthly subscription cost. At the moment, bonus content is gonna have to be put off the table because that just doesn't seem feasible, and I feel really bad because it's something that I really wanted to do. So once that hit me, I had to go through and rethink some things because, to be perfectly honest, I had, since July, have a calendar. I planned out every single video that I was gonna watch, what day they were coming out. I had my whole schedule planned until December of 2022. But then I had to go through and change everything because if I couldn't do the bonus content, then that changes the things that I'm going to put out there. And then I also have this kind of harsh reality about my work. So I've mentioned multiple times that I, at least if you watch those parts of the videos, that I work full-time. Now, most of the time, full-time could be 40 hours, but most of the time, especially around the holiday season, because of where I work, it's a very seasonal company. We sometimes work 50, 60, even up to 70 hours a week. And, you know, this is a job that pays for my bills and things like that. So I sometimes have to take priority or put my job as my priority because of bills. Just those two factors kind of made me think that maybe I was putting too much on my plate, which any of my friends might say that I do anyway, but we're just gonna not think about that. I also had an artist friend of mine, you know, if anybody's looked at my Instagram, draw something for me, and they were gonna do some more drawings, but they also work where I work. So they have been having issues scheduling wise, they've been really busy, and I just don't want to bother them or pressure them. So I just told her it was okay. With all those challenges, what did I actually decide to do with my Patreon? Decide to put on my Patreon, and here it is. So instead of doing 3 tiers like most people and what I originally wanted to do, I only have 1 tier. It is at $3, and I'll probably put on the screen the recording. So I have a fun little banner. I've got my 1 little tier. I have 3 perks that come with this 1 tier. The first one is voting. Now, on the voting front, this is probably going to be mostly related to things that I'm going to put out on my quote-unquote experimental Wednesdays, which is what I'm going to be calling them. You know, I have my ninja weekends on Friday and Saturday, and then every other Wednesday I'm having a video come out, at least at the time of this recording. And I kind of want to do something weird and different and, you know, experimental, but still in the anime slash cartoon sphere. But I think I want to also expand the voting to when I decide to do other reactions, or when I can do bonus content. What kind of bonus content would y'all want? What kind of things would you like to see on the channel? So you guys would have basically voting power and a say in what I put out on my channel. The second thing is a special thanks and a shout out. So the special thanks will go on my website for anybody that decides to join the Patreon, and the shout outs I will shout out at the end of the videos. And then the last one, which seems kind of ridiculous, but I'm gonna explain it. It is the Leaflet Unmasked Edition. Now, what does this mean? So I originally wanted to do a fun newsletter called the Leaflet. Get it? And I was gonna have it on my website, and I was going to basically talk about my schedule that week, do anything updated like what I'm reading or what I've watched outside of my reactions, just, fun little newsletter. And then that kind of fell apart, and I ended up going with, on my website, I have a leaflet, but it is going to be a blog. Now I still have the leaflet logo, which you guys should totally check it out because I feel like I worked really hard on it, and I think it's really cute. But anyway, yeah, it's just a blog on my website, and this will just be random kind of articles that maybe have to do with the things that I've been doing on my experimental Wednesdays, or things that I've been up to, or updates, just a blog. Now, what does this mean for the Leaflet Unmasked Edition? Now, this could sound like it's going to be another blog, but it's actually going to be more like the newsletter that I wanted to do. It's going to come out once a month at the beginning of the month. So the first of every month, a new Leaflet Unmasked Edition will come out. And the main feature is going to be my monthly calendar. So that means despite, Naruto videos coming out on Fridays and Saturdays, you will get to see all the videos that are coming out before anyone else. So this means what the Experimental Wednesday videos will be. This will also, for the Demon Slayer people, if I decide to put more Demon Slayer videos or just random videos that I pop in and out of there, you guys are gonna know about it. I should also say that I did start a podcast that we're still figuring it out, but you'll also see what the podcast episode is going to be about if you look at that calendar. Now, this Leaflet Unmasked Edition will include some other things, but I think the main feature that I think is going to be the most enticing is that monthly calendar. And that is what I have. It's not a lot, definitely not nearly as much as I wanted to do, but I think if I rein it in and think about the things that I can realistically do and the things that I have access to with Patreon that I can, make happen and can work on and be active with, this is what I have. This is not to say that I wouldn't like to do more in the future. In fact, I hope to do more in the future, but this is a starting point. Again, I'm kind of in that state of being that I just kind of want to go for it and see what happens, and if something comes of it, great. If something doesn't, that's also just fine. But now, if you have made it to the end of this video, I am now going to be answering some questions that you guys have previously asked. I will be, I believe, answering these questions as well on my website, but that is not going to be available until later. So if you've made it this far, welcome. So I believe a couple months ago, I don't even remember when it was, I had put on my community page or posted if anybody had any questions for me. There were like one or two other questions that were asked outside of that, and I tried to take those into account, but I really didn't have too many questions, so this will be super easy, I think. So the first question, I wrote it down because, yeah. Are you going to continue this when you get to the end, meaning switching over to Shippuden? So yes, I am going to be watching Shippuden. That's why I'm doing everything on October 1st, because with the way I have planned and scheduled everything out, as far as skipping all the filler episodes, I will be starting Shippuden on October 1st. So my Patreon is launching, my website is going up, and I'm going to be starting Shippuden on the 1st. And I know that you guys may have noticed that I am recording in a different locale. This is the place that I've been trying to get prepared for ever since I started recording in my closet. I will start recording in here. So there will be more light. You can see some of my fun anime art. I've got like Yusuke and I've got Rock Lee versus Gaara here. I was really excited about that one. The second question, what other popular anime have you not gotten around to watching yet? So the thing that comes to my mind, the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear this question is Death Note. I get so much crap about not watching Death Note, especially because it has been out for forever. I will say that Demon Slayer was also another one, but I have now started putting those videos out there, so my friends can't hound me as much for that anymore. This isn't very old, I guess, but One Punch Man, never watched that. Honestly, I was one of those people that I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. It sounds kind of silly, but so many people like it, so maybe I'll give it a chance someday. It's on the recommendations list that I have been given, so maybe. Also, of the big three of old, I haven't really watched the other two, meaning Bleach and One Piece. I love One Piece. I have read, not caught up in the slightest, but I have read One Piece and I enjoy reading One Piece. I have tried to watch the anime and I don't care for it. The other one, Bleach, I feel like I might have watched a couple of episodes and I do remember reading it at one point. I did not get very far in that one either. I think I got to the point, for those that watch Bleach or Bleach fans, up to that point where, what's her name? Rukia was about to be executed, which is like, I know way in the beginning, everybody tells me that. They're like, that was so far in the beginning. I get it. I know. I never got past that part. So sometimes I think about watching those, but One Piece, I'm just gonna throw it out there, never gonna happen. There are, what now, over 1,000 episodes, so I could just skip all the filler like I do with Naruto, but it's just so many episodes. And Bleach, maybe, I don't know, especially because the new Bleach is coming out, so maybe we'll get around to it. So many people have recommended Ruby. Now, here's the fun thing about Ruby. I did watch it, but I didn't realize till the other day I was going into my Crunchyroll count that I have only watched the first 2 seasons, and I thought I got way farther than that. So, this is one of those times where I'm gonna ask you to comment, would you like me to watch Ruby? Let me know. So, the last question. It is actually one of the 2 most common questions that I get asked, and it is, how old am I? That's one of them. The other one is, where am I from? And that could be a whole other conversation because I think it's fun to know what people are thinking. And that's what I'm going to implore with this. I'm just gonna have everyone pause if you're still watching, and I just want you to make your guess. Think of it in your brain. Okay, ready for the reveal. Most people are not gonna believe me because I am older than I appear, especially because I talk about Naruto coming out when I was in middle school all the time. And I thought that would be a dead giveaway, but I know, I'm very aware. I have a baby face. Well, my cheeks are not as round as they used to be, but I also, in real life, I am only 4'11", so I'm a very tiny person. So I understand why people have issues or struggle guessing my age. But if you are still here and you really want to know, I am 29. Gonna let that explode in your mind for a bit. I'm sure some people could probably have guessed that, but most of the time when people think of me in a certain age range, they usually think 20, 22, maybe 24. But alas, I am 29. I was born in 1993. That is all the questions. That's all I have to say about my road to Patreon. This is going to be a very interesting edit because I felt awkward the whole time. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and talking now. So yeah, until next time, bye!